Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to review the new Ciate Mini Mani month for 2019. This is for the holidays of this year only, and the packaging is different from last year, but pretty much the same everywhere else. I'm going to compare it to the one from last year, but make sure you're subscribed to be entered into monthly giveaways. This month we have Natasha Denona Metropolis palette, so I'll link the details in the description box below on how you can enter. So moving on to the Ciate London Mini Mani month for 2019. This collection retails for $60 and is available on ciate.com as well as the Sephora website. Now, as far as advent calendar gifts, I preferred the one from last year or the year before that, where you had individual boxes and you could take them out. And if you want to check out the reviews on the previous years, I leave the link in the description down below. This year you just get a silver packaging, and it's very simple, very cheap, and very basic. Now, before I compare the quality between this year and last year, it's worth noting that they have some mystery shades listed in the back of the box this year that there's about, like, speaking of low quality packaging this year, half of one of my nail polishes was empty this year, and a lot of dupes. I just feel like they just repeated a lot of colors. Now we'll get to that in a moment, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that the pack, it's already underwhelming. So this is another reason not to shop at Sephora, because it's exclusive to Sephora and the quality, like everything else, has gone down. It says on the packaging you get 22 mini paint pots and one full size, and that's been true as of last year. You get 22 with one full size nail polish. So last year we had some shimmers, some mattes, and some glitter colors, and this year it looks like we're getting the same thing, except my thoughts are I already think the quality is going to be worse because you saw some empty paint pots. So the first shade that interested me was this green color. It's called Splash, and I'll go ahead and swipe that on my nail real quick just so you guys can see. Some of these shades are actually toppers, so I'm just going to time it real quick because someone asked me how long do these take to dry. Now typically nail polish takes about 24 hours to fully dry, but usually within 20 minutes you should be able to at least see some drying going on there. So this topper actually does dry pretty fast. Now I wouldn't say like you know, you need to wait 24 hours or 20 minutes, but as far as actually being able to use another shade on top of it or touch it, it actually does dry pretty fast. But again, this is a very sheer topper, so depending on what kind of nail polish you're using, whether it's the other thick ones or the glittery ones, it could vary. So I don't have an exact answer, but in general the Ciate line, in my experience, are pretty fast to dry. Now when I compare it with last year, the formula does get a little bit gloopy, and you know, some of the shades are the same, some of them they just slapped on a different name on it. For example, last year this was called Red Hot Pepper, and this year it's called Summer Haze. But when I use them side by side, or when I looked at these shades, the result came out pretty much the same. So I don't understand the need for them to rename a shade that is exactly the same. Some of them, I think for the mystery shades, they just threw in the ones from last year anyway, so they didn't bother to change the names on those. And then you have these glittery all gold shades, which I'm not a huge fan of, these glitter pieces inside nail polish. Now if you like that kind of thing, then I guess this might be worth it for you, but I personally don't enjoy having those pieces of glitter in there. Now this shade is called Goddess, and it's a glittery gold shade, and the application is just have to put multiple layers on for it to truly see some of those glitters, and I'm not a big fan of those glitter nail polishes. Now you have another burgundy black shade in there, which I couldn't find a dupe from last year, and like I said, the formula is different between the sheer toppers and for example, like another brand, like for example Sally Hansen, like those go really bad after a year, but these Ciate ones generally do have a better longevity. Now some of the shades do get a little bit gloopier over time. So nail polish lasts about 18 to 24 months if it's kept in a cool and dry place. And in my experience, these Ciate nail polishes, the best benefit of them is they do last pretty long if you take care, depending on how much they've been exposed to air. Some of them do last pretty well, and that's why I've been buying them. But I think this year it's a bit of a letdown. I mean, for example, this shade of pink, I don't know if I'll really use this topper. It's just, I think, another one that they throw in there. The shade is called Sweet Treats. Then you have the silver. Now I'm a big fan of silvers, but I think this silver is called House of Mirrors, and let's see how it performs. I generally do like silver nail polish, but this one seems to be a little bit more opaque for my liking and not as reflective as I like. I like my silvers to be like really, really reflective, and this is not super reflective. I don't know if you guys can see or not, but it's just looks like it has an extra topper layer on top of it. So I'm just also not crazy about it, but I don't hate it either. I think it's not one of the worst shades that you find in this collection, you know, but it's also not the best either. So let's hold on to that one. Then you have this, which is an exact dupe from last year. This shade is called Party Popper. It's like a duochrome gold purple shift. It's almost equal to some Pat McGrath eyeshadow shade, but yeah, they didn't even change the shade this year name, and it's basically the same thing. Now I will tell you, if you still had the one from last year, it's probably gotten a little bit more gloopier and a little bit harder to use. So the one from this year, at least, the nice thing about it is that it glides on a lot more easier, and you can see like a nice thin layer showing up on your nails. One thing they don't have this year is loose glitter shades by themselves. Now I haven't seen those in quite a while, those loose glitter shades that we used to see in the years before, but we do have the one big giant nail polish, which is just still has glitter and regular nail polish in it, which I'm not a big fan of that. Now notice when we compare these greens together, some of them, yes, like I said, they're the same color, but look at how the green has started to discolor over time, or at least this year they made that green color a lot more fresh. Either way, it's supposed to be the same color. This green is called Peppermint, but you can see like it's almost sage, the one last year, compared to this year, and a lot more dull looking. So I don't know whether they just changed the formula or whether over time the color just started to darken over time. Either way, I'm not summer color. I feel like this is a summer color, not really a holiday color. So I don't understand why, if this is supposed to be like a holiday set, why not include more holiday shades, or at least something that's more like in tune with the holidays, like a nice purple or anything like that. We did have nice purples last year. This year it's just they've threw in some of those summer colors and some regular like peachy beige colors that we had before. Now this is also another dupe. This color is called Ice Frappe, and it was available in the last year's Mini Mani collection as well. It seems like they just repeated these colors. Okay, they're popular. Yes, I like this color, but I just was hoping to have more interesting and new colors this year. I guess this is good if you don't already own this collection from last year, or if you just wanted to restock, but in that case you could just restock by buying the same collection. It's a little bit of a high price point to pay if you already had some of these in your collection. Now for example, this ice glitter one, this blue ice one, we didn't quite have anything like it last year, but again, this is just a topper shade, and it's a very, very thin one too. So when I try and show this to you guys, you see how like it's very patchy and it doesn't have enough coverage. And I get it, it's a topper, but you have to apply multiple layers to get this to really show. So if this is really something that you enjoy and you want, I'm not going to discourage you, but I personally think it looks better inside the pot than on the nail, unless you're, you know, willing to go over and over a few times to, you know, get something to really show. Now, I'm not a huge fan of these like super white beigey colors, but this one I believe is another one that comes close to what we previously had. Now, I don't know if I quite have something like this in my collection, but generally I don't like to wear nail polish that is much lighter than my skin tone, unless it's summer, which in that case I'm willing to, you know, wear something to make myself, you know, look more tan. Generally lighter colors make you look more tan, but as far as the winter holiday collection, you know, you want reds and purples and glittery New Year's Eve colors. Now, moving on to the dark colors, this package actually does have quite a few darks in there. It has a true black in there, and that black is called Phantom. Now, if you look at my last year's video, we didn't have a true black in that collection. So this Phantom color, you know, it reflects nicely. It's a nice quick fix if you want a quick black color. It also has a very dark brown color in there, and it also has like a lot of dark navies. So I would say it's definitely more on the darker side compared to last year. And if you already had that collection and you just wanted some dark blues or navies, then I think you should just buy them separately instead of buying this again. We have another dupe here for the metallic navy color, which is almost like a metallic car color. This shade was called Palm Springs, and last year they also had a shade called Palm Springs, and this one is a little bit more muted, and I don't know, I mean, if it's not, it doesn't say Christmas or anything like that to me. It's just a nice dark navy color if you also want to have that along with your black. And we also had this lighter Palm Springs color, which was, again, I don't know why Palm Springs translates into a navy or a metallic blue, but that's more of a lighter blue. So you get two types of metallic navies in there. You get your darker navy, and you also get your lighter navy, and they're both metallic. So again, if you really like those shades, then maybe this might be worth it for you. But this is all I looked up on the packaging, and it's supposed to only have one blue in there, not two types of blue. So this, I guess this dark blue may have been my mystery shade. So another shade that is a replica from last year it's called Prima Ballerina, and we had this last year. It's a nice grayish beige color, and it's the exact same, except last year seems to be going a little bit darker. That's what I'm noticing with these Ciate nail polishes. Even though they're still within their expiration and they haven't truly expired yet, some shades do tend to go darker. So if you already had the one from last year and you're noticing yours is getting darker, maybe it's time to throw it out. Another thing I noticed this year with their set is that they didn't include any of the base or primer colors that they did last year. Last year they had one for nail strength, and you had one for growth, and an extra topper shade, and a clear one as well. So this year I think they just decided to skip all that and throw in some repeats of the years before. I don't know why they did that, but it seems like the packaging quality's gone down. Some of the shades aren't like as well performing as they did last year, and the formula is a little bit inconsistent for me at least, but at least they're not going as quickly bad as the Sally Hansen ones. And in general, I think that they could have stepped up a little bit more. Now this pink color is not a holiday color for me. This is definitely more of like a summer by the pool kind of color, and I don't really personally wear a lot of these bright pink shades in general, unless it's like a summer day where you're going by the pool or something like that. It just feels a little off having that in there. Now this was another mystery shade that I got, as well as that one Prima Ballerina, which I explained to you. So if you buy this set and you don't have Prima Ballerina, it just might be that I got that as a mystery shade. Now this this glittery orange shade. This is not a mystery shade. This one is actually called Star-Crossed, and it's another topper shade, and I don't know why, but this formula feels more like a little bit like Vaseline or some kind of jelly in there. It doesn't seem to be drying as fast as that first one that I swatched, that green one. So I'm noticing a lot of inconsistency with these shades in general, and a lot of them are just not performing like the others do. So again, I don't know what what happened this year, how they dropped the ball, or maybe they thought that you wouldn't have the one from the year before. I guess if you're new to Ciate and you've never tried any of their other shades before, this might be something to gift for someone else. But if you're buying it for yourself and you already have a lot of Ciate in your collection, I'm not sure if it's worth it. I have to, you know, keep wiping these because I'm not using a primer or anything like that. I'm just trying to swipe these on real quickly for you guys so you can see whether this is worth buying or not. So far, I haven't been impressed. There's 2 red shades in there. Now, I know that's pretty overwhelming. We just get a subtle difference between one red and the other. Now, this red, it's like a little bit brighter than the one I swatched earlier. There's one called Snatch and there's one called Summer Haze. And, you know, if you swipe them next to each other, you'll notice like they're just like only a little bit different. It's the difference is very subtle between this and the one from last year. Last year we also had a similar red in there, but I don't know if you guys can see this on camera very well. The difference is very, very subtle. Like one is like just slightly a little bit more orangey. Again, not sure if it's worth it. I keep saying this, but I just want to remind you guys that if you're really trying to get this, don't rush to get it. The other thing is like you have 2 of these glittery navy colors. Now that glittery navy color is called Royal Rain, and this color Party Popper as well to compare it. Overall, my thoughts with this palette, guys, is that I don't think that it's really worth it if you already have the ones from the previous years. I think that you're getting a lot of repeats, especially if the mystery colors turn out to be repeats from last year like mine were. I guess that was just their way of putting those colors back in there. I mean, who's really keeping score of what these mystery colors are? For all we know, there might be just split between all the 2019 palettes, the sets between the 2019 sets. So really you might just be getting the same stuff. And like I said before in many of my videos, makeup companies, nail polish companies, all of them, there's only so many shades that are flattering to people. So I guess they ran out of ideas, and I think the quality went down a little bit this year, and they tried to save a bit by making the packaging a little bit more cheaper. And my overall thoughts are, yeah, this was a miss for me. And let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought. Thanks again so much for watching, and I will see you guys